Hello pretties, welcome to Bristol. So today I have a makeup tag. So I don't know why I said it like that. I came out real strong. But this was created by TEWS. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the last name wrong. I personally am not familiar with her, but I saw ALEJANDRA LISETTE do this earlier this week, and I just thought it was a great idea. It's the Makeup Declutter Tag. Because if you project pen in the past, if you're somewhat careful with your purchases and whatnot, then you kind of know, that some things were, just duds, and some things you end up decluttering because it's just not going to work for you. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. I'm going to leave both of their videos down below, and I believe there's a playlist also with everyone that's done this tag. So I'm going to leave that again down below, but there's that. There's 10 questions. The first question is makeup item that's impractical. And I went back and forth on this one because I don't know that I have anything like that because my collection is somewhat curated. But I ended up picking the Crab loose pigment from ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. And it's because it's a loose pigment. It's for the eyes, it's loose, it's kind of impractical to use. I almost never reach for it because of the, have to like dig in the cap, put it in the cap. Like, it's a lot of work just for an eyeshadow, I feel like. So that's that. I have used it. I actually like it on my nails quite a bit, but I don't always reach for that. So there's that. Alright, a mascara that's definitely expired. I actually don't have anything for this category because I only have one mascara and I bought it at the beginning of the year, and that's it. That's all I own. So I didn't have a product for this category, so we'll just keep it moving. A red lipstick you never wear. So I technically have two. If you saw my beginning of your declutter, I still haven't taken all those products out of my house and found new homes for them yet, but I do have them in a separate bin. But I did declutter this red lipstick. My sister said she might be interested in it because she's actually the only one that's actually purposely wore this out. So she says she might take it from me. But there's the Ruby Matte Lipstick from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I just don't like this formula. It's a little too drying, and I have really dry lips, so not for me, but it's very beautiful red, if I may say so. I'm just gonna swatch it. There's that. And then there's another red that I use maybe once a year, but it's just the formula is more my liking. I actually would get use out of it. It's on display from ColourPop. It's just I have other reds that I've been focusing on, and this one always gets the back burner. And as you can see, they're almost identical with the one from ColourPop. The one here at the bottom is a little bit brighter. And I just like the formula better because it's cream rather than a matte. But honestly, they get very used. This one actually got decluttered out of my collection, and this one's still here because I like the formula. I've been focusing on other reds. Let's see what else we got. If I can open my phone. All right, a high-end item not worth the money. I was going back and forth with this one because I have two, maybe 3 items that I could see as contenders, and I just couldn't pick one because I don't think any of them are complete duds. It's just that, it is what it is. So for starters, I have the Scott Barnes blush. Honestly, the formula is beautiful. It's nice. It's just the packaging is actually not that luxe, but this blush right here is $30. $30 for one blush. And keep in mind, this blush palette from L'Oreal Los Angeles is $28. So I can get... Oh, I did not just do that. Okay, well, great. So I can get 7 blushes on a highlighter for $28, or I can get one blush for $30. It's just, when you think about it that way, and they're both great quality. I actually like the quality from the one from L'Oreal Los Angeles a little bit better, but it's also because this are more my preference because they're matte blushes, while this is a glittery blush and it's not my preference. And I knew that buying it was not my preference when I bought it. It's still beautiful. It's honestly very, very nice. So I do like it a lot. It's just, it's not my preference. Okay, there you go. Sorry guys, I'm struggling my cell phone trying to get the things up. So I chose that one. Another one that I chose, and this is where the product, it's very, very nice. This is the lip gloss from Lunar Beauty. The packaging is absolutely beautiful. It's luxe, but there is only 3 grams of product. That's it. 3 grams on product. This is $17, I believe. $17 for 3 grams on product. It's honestly smaller than some mini deluxe sizes. It is so little product for $17. I can't get over it. And it's nice, but it's honestly a clear gloss. It's a clear gloss for $17. It's a clear gloss for $17. Like, I can't get over that. $17 for a clear gloss. I just don't think that's worth the money. The quality is there. Same thing with the Scott Barnes. The quality is there, but the price is outrageous. Another high-end item, not a surprise that I chose this, is the Enchanted palette. I've said this time again how disappointed I am because I have to work so hard to make this palette work for me, and it's almost $50. I think it's $49 for the palette. For $49, it better work for me. I don't have to work for it. You know what I mean? So like, I just don't think that's worth the coin. It really isn't. It's too much work. The packaging, beautiful. The inside looks great, but the actual quality of it, that's where you have to make it work, and I don't like that. All right, a drugstore dud. And I chose the Hydrating Core Lip Shine from e.l.f. And I specifically grabbed the shade Delightful because this shade is a dud. I just don't understand. Like, when I saw it, I really thought it was gonna look differently in person. Who wants purple, sickly looking lips? Like, because that's what it looks like. The quality, again, nice. It's just the shade's awful. I can't see any skin tone like in that undertone. It just makes you look sick. So I don't get that. An eyeshadow palette you forgot you had. So I have grabbed 2, and they're both from ColourPop, and it's the Yes Please and the Double Entendre. I honestly love both palettes very much, and whenever I do reach for them, I like it. I never have any issues. Quality is there, products there. The problem is I never reach for them, and I always forget I have them. So this right here, they're just forgetful, I guess. Okay, a foundation that's not your shade match. And I went with the ColourPop Medium 85N. And it's because, can you see, it's gray. It's supposed to be neutral, but it's gray. I don't understand. And I remember when I first got it, I was like, oh man, it's a great shade match, because the shade's actually not that far. It's just the undertone so far off that it makes me look a little sick. And when I first got it, I didn't notice that until one day I just kind of saw myself in my car and I saw the lighting and I was like, whoa, what is up with my face? And I realized, oh, it's the undertones. I am mixing it with my ABH 335W, I think it is, which is also not a great shade match for me, but there's that. I can make it work, I guess. A product that wasn't worth the hype. 100% I gotta go with the Sweet Talk. I know my palette's a little weird because I took some shades out, but I actually got rid of the glitters, and then I'm working on these 2 shades and something else, so there's that. It was not worth the hype. I remember when this first came out, because I actually bought this palette very, very late. I think this came out in 2018 or 2019, and I was watching everyone's like end of year reviews and like ranking all their palettes, and almost everyone that I saw that had owned this palette put it at least in the top 5, if not maybe top 10. But like almost everyone's putting in the top 5, top 5, top 5. To some people, it was their favorite palette of the year. I was like, whoa, wow, okay, maybe it's not my color story, but there must be something there if this many people, because I saw dozens and dozens of videos and everyone was putting it in their top 5, top 10. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm missing out. I'm not seeing something they're seeing. So I ended up getting the palette. And I will say, I have a better opinion of it now than I did when I first got it. Because when I first got it, I absolutely hated it. And I've learned to love it. I put it in my Eyeshadow Obsessions series collection thing that I did last year. And I had a really great time with it at that time. Specifically, this bottom row right here, well, without this one, like this 3 shades right here and this one right here, I had a really good time with it, this specific 4 shades. And I was like, okay, you know what, it's actually not that bad. I can make it work. There's something to it. I get why people might like it as much as I did. It just still isn't a color story. The glitters, 100% just ended up decluttering it. I gave it to my little sister. And then these two shades, honestly, they look quite different in the pan, but they're very similar in the eye, because this lighter shade, even though it looks so light, it's actually quite pigmented. And in the eyes, they look almost exactly the same. Even if you swatch them, they look somewhat similar. But in the eyes, they look almost the same. Almost the same. It's just slightly different undertones. One's a little more warm tone, the other one's a little pinkier. But very, very similar. That being said, I ended up not loving it. You know, it's not worth the hype. I don't think it is. There's a lot of repetition in a very small palette. And I don't particularly care for that. Okay, moving along. Concealer you couldn't make work. This was also in that declutter video. And it's called a concealer, but it's supposed to be like a color corrector. But again, it's called concealer, so that's why I put it there. I could not make this work. It didn't actually conceal. It just made everything look brown. Like, it really messed up my under eyes where it looked orange, but it didn't do anything for my actual under eyes that are quite purple. Like, it just didn't work. And I couldn't make it work. And I was trying. I was like, maybe I'm putting too much product. Maybe I'm putting too less product. Maybe I'm not blending it in well. And I like tried it, and I couldn't make it work. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. And instead, it just made everything look orange underneath my eyes, which I did not appreciate. So, not a fan of that. If you had to start one makeup category from scratch, what would it be? 100% my highlighter collection. So, I think it was like 2016, 2017 when like the highlighter craze like really blew up. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to try highlighter. So I ended up buying a Sephora collection highlighter and palette, and had like 6 highlighters, and I kind of liked it. It was okay. I actually ended up decluttering it to my sister because I didn't care for it that much. But it was kind of like, okay, maybe I need to, this wasn't for me, but I still need to give highlighter a chance. So I bought another highlighter. I'm like, man, this highlighter really isn't for me, but everyone's talking about this one and how this one from like Fenty is so good. So I ended up buying one from Fenty, and I'm like, oh man, this one I don't really care for this one as much either. Let me try this one from ColourPop, and I didn't really care for that either. And then I was like, okay, let me try this one for this brand, and I didn't really care for it. Eventually I found that there are 3 formulas that I enjoy. One is from Los Angeles, her loose highlighters. The second one is from Persona Cosmetics. I have Zuma. And then the one, my favorite, it's Opal from Becca. But I definitely, at some point, I think I had like 20 highlighters, and I only cared for 5 of them. And it was like, if I would have just known from the beginning what I did like, I wouldn't have gone into a deep dive trying to find a highlighter that I liked. And I wish I would have like picked up like, you know what, maybe highlighter is just not for me, because a lot of times I do my makeup and I put no highlighter on. Highlighter is not my preference. If I am gonna put highlighter on, I like the ones from Los Angeles, the one from Persona, or the Opal. I have a lot of other highlighters that are okay and I can make work that don't look bad, but I don't particularly care for. But you know, it is what it is. I'm just gonna work through them, and then once I'm done with all the ones I don't like, I'm just gonna enjoy the ones that I do like. And I can't really buy the one from Los Angeles anymore because those are her loose highlighters. She doesn't sell them anymore. But I would keep repurchasing Opal and Zuma, although Opal is no longer available, because actually a subscriber commented on my a couple of videos ago, let me know that Opal actually is not back. They're only selling Champagne Pop on Smashbox, and I went and looked, and sure enough, that's the only shade they sell is Champagne Pop, which is not my favorite. So essentially, once I finish all my highlighters, the only ones I'm gonna have left is Zuma, and that's okay. I am okay with that, and I do have a backup of Opal, because when I first heard that Becca was going out of business, I bought a backup of Opal, and then sure enough, the whole thing happened, and it turns out it worked out. But highlighters, what a roller coaster that was for me. I would just scrap it and just have the ones I really like, and that's it. Anyway, that's it for this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, I'm gonna link Eva, or the creator, down below, as well as Alejandra, who's what first saw make this video, and then the playlist that they created. And then yeah, please have a great one, and I'll see you in the next one. By the way, is there any products that you would like to declutter, or any categories in your collection that you would just like scrap and start over with? Because I thought that was such an interesting question. Please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.